opposition, it is a matter of leadership. Third consecutive defeat if Congress loses. For Prime Minister, he will equal a record, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. For federal structure, are we going to go back to 40s and 50s? One big party and small regional parties? Or we are going to go back to a system where we had two important political parties and regional parties aligned to them, which sustained itself for 24 years, from 1998 till 2014. So there are a lot of ifs and buts. In studio, I'm joined by Jayanto Bhattacharya, senior journalist, input editor of News9 Live, Brijesh Pandey. I'm also joined by my colleague Kabir Naqvi, who will take me through the data. I'll also be joined by Deepak Bhadana from Congress office, Nivritri Mohan from Bharatiya Janata Party's headquarters, and Avijit Ghoshal from Kolkata. But to open up the debate, Jayanto, are you going to hedge your bet?
I would prefer not to.
Why?
But
you have been the most diplomatic guest, you know.
Yeah, indeed. But if you really want to me to put my neck out, I would say the NDA altogether something around 315, 20.
Okay. That's a conservative estimate.
That indeed
That's
is.
a conservative estimate.
But don't forget.
You're saying NDA 320, which means that you are saying BJP is below 300.
Below 300.
I mean, say, but
just roundabout.
But you know, Brijesh, sometimes I feel that, you know, it was sort of a strategy by Bharatiya Janata Party when they said, "Ab ki baar 400 par," and the entire opposition said, "We will stop them at 400," and they forgot that the simple majority is at 272, and they'll perhaps come home with 290, and really doesn't make a difference.
Well, I think, it was a psyop. I mean, nothing but everybody knew right from Prime Minister Narendra Modi downwards that, that there's no way you are going to win 370 seats. There are catchment areas and that will be like super over exploitation of the catchment area. That's not going to happen. BJP already is at the apogee in most of North Indian states. And I would also not say that, opposition fell for it. Yeah, I mean, they were very successful in running the narrative. The opposition is trying its level best. I think, it would have been better if the Congress party, being the other national party right now, would have gone for a better, more aggressive pitch rather than reacting to the BJP's ploys and all. That would have made the contest all the more interesting. Back of the envelope, Rahul Gandhi not contesting from Amethi and Priyanka not contesting from Raebareli was also not a good signal which was sent to people in Uttar Pradesh, given the fact that our exit poll is predicting a close fight between KL Sharma and Smriti Irani. So I think there were several misses and all, but all in all, I think it's a very good and interesting fight, where we saw unwittingly the narrative which was spun by opposition being the only dominant narrative throughout this election.
I'm also joined by Avijit Ghoshal from Kolkata. Avijit, all these are on West Bengal. A lot of polls have given advantage to Bharatiya Janata Party. A lot of polls have equaled it. My question to you is, do you think that Sandesh Khali dented Mamta's prospects?
Good morning, Mr. Sharma. Yeah, I think definitely Sandesh Khali has been one of the headline factors, but I don't think it has been the only one. If you keep looking, if you keep scanning the political spectrum of Bengal, you would see that the ruling party has been sinking under its own weight. And that not only is Sandesh Khali. Sandesh Khali is a flashpoint. It has got the nation's attention. It has even made news even beyond the nation's borders. But keeping Sandesh Khali aside, that has erupted over the last few months or so. If you keep scanning the performance of the ruling party, Mamata Banerjee's party, over the last 5 years, you would see that there has been a growing crescendo about the, the quote-unquote, the misdeeds of the party, the huge corruption, the cash for job scams, the series of high court indictments against it. It just keeps adding up. And the entire strong arm tactics that the ruling party has been accused of, fostering on West Bengal. So it was actually coming. I mean, if you see today that I can see that just one exit poll has given TMC anywhere above 20 seats. All the rest, they predict that they'll be below 20. Now, I recall this has been quite a pathetic show from a leader and her party who claims that she can even provide alternative to the ruling dispensation at the center. So, it has been coming there, and Sandesh Khali is not the only factor. If the
No, I
exit
absolutely
polls are
agree. You know,
correct-
Sandesh Khali is seen from the perspective of Mamata Banerjee. You know, when a dominant political ideology is displaced, it has to be seen from the person and the ideological background who displaces it. You know, what do people want? Why are they looking at a different ideology? Right now, I'm joined by Deepak Bhatana from the Congress office, Nivritti Mohan from Bharatiya Janata Party, Wajiullah also joins me from Bengaluru. Let me first go to Deepak. Deepak, I'm not going to ask you Mahal kya hai. But this is one question all the reporters go through. It takes a second, and a sort of a blank answer comes. And I have been through that drill, so I will spare you that. My question to you is: right now, it's a real tough fight for the Congress party. Do you think, since you have travelled a lot in Punjab, will they be able to retain all those MPs from there? Because Punjab and Kerala were real saviors for them in 2019.
Punjab is going to be a tough call for the Congress, because if you see, most of the voters that traditionally voted for the Congress have moved on to the Aam Aadmi Party. The tricky question this time is, will these voters who are kind of now disillusioned with the Bhagwant Mann-led government over there, who will they choose now? Punjab has always bucked the BJP trend. The question is, which party do they go for now? The last time the Aam Aadmi Party came into power, it was purely on the hope, that this is something new and that they would provide some alternative. But clearly that hasn't happened. So the Congress voter in the Punjab is at the moment kind of confused, and their votes are generally going to be divided between these two parties. So it will be difficult for the Congress to retain those, in the best of scenarios. The rest should be clearer, maybe.
So Deepak is saying that Congress is a bit of a problem in Punjab. Deepak, his core area is Punjab. Let me go across to Nivritti. Her core areas are Himachal, Uttarakhand. Nivritti, how come Bharatiya Janata Party is ending up sweeping Lok Sabha seats? This time, to our exit poll, has not given any numbers to Congress party. What is the reason that in these two mountain states, when it's coming to Lok Sabha, BJP sweeps all the seats?
Yeah, there has been a trend in, as far as Himachal is concerned, and maybe Uttarakhand also, that it is always that once they choose, this is I'm talking about the states, that once they choose a government, it is always like next time they will choose the government of another party. But as far as at the national levels, voters have clearly understood that the issues at the local level, they are different, and the issues at the national level, they are very, very different. So maybe I was talking earlier also about this, that maybe this is the reason that they know which are the parties who can address the local issues better, and they also know that who is the party, which is the party that can that they can rely upon as far as the national issues are concerned, the welfare of the country is concerned. And the BJP has been able to propagate it through the masses, whether it is whether they are the hill states, through the hill states or any other states. They have been able to propagate the idea that they are working in the national interest. This idea has been propagated widely, and their cadres have been able to do it successfully. On the other hand, if we talk about the other parties in the India alliance, you will realize that the number of rallies that the Prime Minister Modi has done, and the number of rallies the other leaders in the opposition have done, the number of meetings that BJP cadres have done amongst themselves to decide what is the way to go ahead in the elections, how they have to work, which policy they have to adopt, so that they can go amongst the masses, deep into the masses, which has been
Sorry,
lacking.
Nivritti, I have to stop you short.
opposition
We have a bite by
parties.
Manish Tiwari. Let's
You
play
must-
that bite. Then we'll go to Wajiullah.
चंडीगढ़ से इंडिया अलायंस के उम्मीदवार मनीष तिवारी इस वक्त हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। तिवारी साहब, रिजल्ट को लेकर कितने कॉन्फिडेंट हैं आप?
देखिए, मैंने आपके सहयोगी को भी ये बात कही है, सूर्य पूर्व से उग रहा है, पश्चिम में छिपेगा। मंगलवार का दिन है, हनुमान का दिन है। हमने प्रचार प्रसार किया, लोगों ने अपनी राय व्यक्त की। राय ईवीएम में बंद है। ईवीएम खुल जाएंगी, वोट गिनी जाएंगी। जो लोगों का फैसला होगा उसको खुशी खुशी सारे स्वीकार करेंगे। ये भारत के लोकतंत्र की शक्ति है।
You know, Ajit, you know, in army, it's said when going gets tough, the tough gets tougher. But in India, when going gets tough, the only thing you remember is Hanumanji. Manish Tiwari, didn't you hear him say?
Right.
So, morning and welcome. You think he's going to win this seat, Chandigarh?
You know, I think this time, even in Punjab, we saw a BJP kind of, in our exit polls at least, 2-3 seats. And Chandigarh has defied what Arun Jaitley fought from Amritsar. Chandigarh, I have a feeling that Manish Tiwari is a strong candidate, but the way that the BJP is sweeping in Haryana, Punjab, not sweeping in Punjab, but sweeping in Haryana, Punjab 2-3 seats, difficult call actually. It's a tight fight.
There's also one more interesting development which happened last night and which kind of predicts which way campaigning for Congress in Chandigarh has been. Last night, the Congress party has suspended 6 congressmen for 6 years for indulging in anti-party activities, and they were the one who were vociferous against the candidature of Manish Tiwari. And the entire Chandigarh campaign can be run into one thing, that there was massive anti-Manish Tiwari sentiment on the ground as far as Congress party is concerned, more than the voters per se. So that was one battle which Manish Tiwari was grappling with. But the people are confident.
Look what Mamata Banerjee was saying. She's saying, the BJP leader should add ex Jayanto.
See, at this point of time, any leader who's leading a party has to show that the confidence. And especially as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned, you must have seen that for her, she is touching 70
this is
now.
BJP office.
Yeah.
This is BJP office. I think they're well prepared, They're well prepared. Everything is well stocked there. Everything is well stocked there.
This is the food which reporters also eat when they are there. we have been there.
No, I have no grouse against reporters.
Because people get there at 5 o'clock.
I have no grouse, but it's just, you need to have a great appetite to see puri sabzi at, 7 o'clock in the morning. But that's the breakfast of North India. Vajji also joins me from Bengaluru. Vajji, more than me, I think the entire Congress has set high hopes for the party unit in Karnataka this time. Vajji.
Well, yes, because it is the only state where they have the government as of now, so they have this hope. But it is also a prestige battle for the BJP, Karthikeya, because it's a prestige battle for the BJP because they won 27 out of the 28 seats in the last time, and it becomes incumbent for them to make sure that they have that same lead in this time around also. But with what the exit polls have showed, most of the average that the BJP is going to get in Karnataka is close to 23. But if you take this question to DK Shiv Kumar or the Congress party, they have gone on to say that the exit polls are not right, and the Congress party is going to get close to 12 to 15 seats. But if that actually happens, then the seat in South India for the BJP will actually dip, because if we see last time they had won close to 30 seats in South India out of the 130 seats that were up for grab, 27 coming from Karnataka alone. But if that dips, then the numbers for the BJP from the south will become a problem, because if we see the other states, be it Kerala or Tamil Nadu, though the exit polls have given them an entry into these states, but what we have seen on the ground is that they might have a increase in their vote share, but whether they will breach that mark of getting one seat or 2 seats in either Kerala or Tamil Nadu is something that is most likely not going to happen. But yes, the vote share of the BJP might increase in this coming election from what the exit polls or from what the situation on the ground is, Karthikeya.
Okay, the hopes are high for the Congress party. Kabir, my colleague will take us through how many seats did Bharatiya Janata Party win in Karnataka. Let's take a bird's eye view of Karnataka first. If Congress has said its hopes high on Karnataka, let's see what Karnataka had in store for them in 2019.
All right then, this is what Karnataka looked like in 2019. A constant comparison for all our viewers that's going to keep coming. We're also going to show you the national map of what 2024 is going to look like. Is it going to be more orange than blue? Well, that's what the exit polls are predicting. But this is what Karnataka looked like in 2019. 28 seats in the state, 25 going to the Bharatiya Janata Party, 1 to the Congress, 1 to the JDS. Essentially, that's what it looks like. Pretty much saffron tinge all across Karnataka. But now this time around, the assembly elections, a thumping mandate, a historical mandate. And DK Shivkumar, if his words are anything to go by, he's saying that I'm confident that Congress Party is going to bag at least 2/3 of the seat.
Okay, very well. If you look at this map, this is South Karnataka, Tumkur, and these areas are the Gowda areas. So JDS has 1 seat. Congress is a pan Karnataka party, they get 1 seat, and then independent line with Bharatiya Janata Party got the other seat. It was a true Modi wave. In this context, if Congress thinks that it's going to do well, it means that it is planning to do well in the northern and the central area, because it's still not been able to break the bastion of coastal Karnataka. Coastal Karnataka, even in our exit poll, even during assembly election, held by Bharatiya Janata Party, and that's the big difference. Thank you, Kabir. Thank you so much. And we have got an interview of Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. Let's play it out.
को बढ़ाने के लिए माननीय मोदी जी की सरकार की नीतियों का संदेश नीचे तक पहुंचाने के लिए जो कार्यकर्ताओं ने परिश्रम किया है, 2023 के विधानसभा चुनाव में भागीरथ परिश्रम करके भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जिस तरह जयी विजयी किया है, उस श्रृंखला को पूरा करने के लिए ये जो कुछ भी पुरुषार्थ हुआ है, इस पुरुषार्थ को, इस प्रयास को सफलता में परिवर्तित करने के लिए आज अंतिम मुहर लगाने के लिए काउंटिंग की मतगणना की प्रक्रिया में सारे कार्यकर्ता जा रहे हैं। आपने देखा होगा कितना जोश था, कितना उत्साह था। सभी लोगों को तिलक लगा करके, साफा पहना करके, सबको शगुन दे करके यहाँ से भेजा है, और निश्चित रूप से हम सब विजयी होकर के लौटेंगे, ये विश्वास है।
Okay, is Vaji with us? Vaji, if you're with me, you saw the map. Can you take us through the constituencies which Congress think will win this time? And are they in northern Karnataka? Because last time around, even Mallikarjun Kharge's home bastion was lost. Most of the home bastion was lost. Veerappa Moily lost. Mallikarjun Kharge's home bastion was lost. Most of the other leaders, DK Shivakumar, Siddaramaiah, their bastions, they were all lost to Bharatiya Janata Party. Like Madhya Pradesh, the Guna was lost. Jyotiraditya Scindia lost the seat. Amethi, Rahul Gandhi lost. Nanded was lost. So that 2019 was defined by the bastion breaking by Bharatiya Janata Party. So can they recover their bastions if there is something left of the bastion politics today?
Well, Kartika, last time Congress had only won 1 seat, that is of DK Suresh, and he was the only one that had retained his seat. But this time around, the fight is very strong. Like you mentioned, Mallikarjun Kharge, he also lost a battle. He also lost the Gulbarga seat, and this time around the seat has been given to his son-in-law. Now, if we talk about key constituency, you have the 4 seats of Bengaluru, where Bangalore North, Bangalore South, where the BJP has a very strong presence, and Tejasvi Surya is fighting there. But if you look at the 2019 results of Bangalore South, Ramlinga Reddy's daughter had just lost by a few votes, and we saw recounting happening at that day also. If we talk about the rural, you have DK Suresh, who has his seat very confirmed over there. But if we look at the outskirts, because if you remember, what happened in Karnataka was a very big surprise that happened for the voters when the Prajwal Revana story broke out, and that affected the second phase of the election, because it broke out just before the first phase. So the Congress party feels that the first phase of election might be a little dicey for them, but the second phase of election, where they went on to North Karnataka, the southern parts of the other Kalyan Karnataka parts, there they feel that the controversy of Prajwal Revana might affect them, and there the seat shares might change. So the key constituencies that we are looking at right now for them is North Karnataka, Bangalore North, where it's a fight fight between PC Mohan and Mansoor Ali Khan. Bangalore Central, that is Bangalore North, the fight between Rajiv Gowda and Shobha Karandlaje. Then you have Bangalore Rural, Dr. C. Manjunath versus DK Suresh. And then at South, where the fight is between Ramlinga Reddy's daughter and Tejasvi Surya. So these, for Bangalore, these are the main constituencies. But if we go outskirts, then you have Hassan, where the fight is for Prajwal Revanna. Whether he will win or not, the exit polls have said that he will win. Then you have Mandya, where Kumar Swamy is fighting, and that is also one of the seats that has been said that they're going to win. But what interesting thing that we've seen the BJP done this time is they've taken away all the Hindutva leaders. So that is going to be a surprising thing at Uttar Kannada. But Mysore again is going to be a very key constituency, because the Chief Minister has been regularly contesting or campaigning there, and it is a BJP seat which the Maharaja is fighting. So these are a few things that we'll have to see, Karthikeya, in the next 2 hours.
Okay. Let me go back to our newsroom. It's a wonderful concept. Shreya is the anchor there. We have divided our newsroom in a number of parts. North part, the west part, the south part, east part, though the eastern specialist is sitting with me. So Shreya, I'll loan Brijesh back to you after some time. So I've been a little selfish today, this morning. But then this studio will also have one section dedicated to the business sentiment and another section dedicated to what global leaders think of this election. To you, Shreya.
Absolutely, Karthikeya. In fact, today we've already started into the D-Day, counting day. And well, as you rightly mentioned, we have experts with us from each region. Let's just pan the camera and show you from the east, we have Justin Thomas joining us in the newsroom. Justin, I'll in fact come in and begin with you first. When we speak of the east, I think one of the most crucial seats this time, especially with the exit polls and the projections they've come up with, is West Bengal. What exactly happened in West Bengal? Those 42 seats, 2014, 2019, we've seen it be dominated by the regional party there. And suddenly, this time in 2024, we see that the BJP not only has set its foot in, but it's actually done pretty well according to the exit poll. So let's also discuss about the issues this election. What exactly has this election been about?
I think the question is West Bengal is whether the anti-incumbency is against the center or the state. So out here what we see is that in 2019 obviously BJP made a spectacular entry into the Lok Sabha elections from West Bengal. That didn't replicate in the assembly elections, but what is very much clear is that they are on course to at least retain those 18 out of those 42 seats. And if they have to match up with those numbers, 400 figure, they need to, of course, get more than that. So obviously, Mamata Banerjee is worried. The main voters out here in Bengal are the women voters. And a lot of women issues have also been, going up and down in this election. And if you see the vote bank, Mamata Banerjee has equal vote bank in terms of women and also Modi. Both are, attractive women. For women voters, they have been perfect candidates. So if you see the challenges, like let's say the Sandesh Kali case that has happened, that has dented Mamata's, women narrative that she has been building for years together, because most of the women are usually voting for Mamata. That is a challenge that has happened for TMC this time around. The question is whether BJP is able to take that advantage and enable it turns into votes so that they are able to increase those numbers. That is what we have to see today.
Right, Justin. In fact, very rightly put there. What exactly are the election issues for the East this time for West Bengal? Sandesh Kali clearly seems to have played quite a crucial role. Well, with that now, Karthikeya will also take you to our expert from the West. We have Ashok Bagaria ji. Ashok, a very good morning to you. Very firstly, West, we have seen this time it is Mahayuti versus MVA. Speak to you specifically about Baramati. It is Supriya Sule versus Sunetra Pawar. What are your predictions? And we were speaking to Kiran Thare also from there earlier, and it seems like the Shiv Sena might, the NCP, Sharad Pawar, might actually be continuing with his bastion, continuing retaining power in his bastion. Do you think so?
Well, at the moment, it looks like Supriya Sule is going to be a little, ahead of her rival, which is Sunetra Pawar. Now, what is interesting as far as Baramati is concerned, it's a very, very important seat as far as egos are concerned, because on this particular seat, what you are witnessing is a contest between Supriya Sule and her aunt, Sunetra Pawar, who's the wife also of the breakaway faction of NCP Ajit Pawar. And the Bharatiya Janata Party had insisted that as far as Baramati is concerned, they would pitch somebody who can take on Supriya Sule. And in fact, when the name of Sunetra was announced for the seat, Supriya Sule had gone out and reached out to her aunt and sought her blessings. But besides this particular seat, there are other seats to look out for, especially Narayan Rane's in Sindhudurg. Then we have Beed seat, which is also on which we have Pankaja Munde contesting. She's the daughter of former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Gopinath Munde. Besides that, we also have an interesting contest in the city of Mumbai, where in the north we have Piyush Goyal contesting. Then again in the north central Mumbai, we have Ujjwal Nikam. Now Ujjwal Nikam is a lawyer. He was a prosecutor in the Bombay blast cases, and he has been handpicked by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
I'm really sorry, I have to stop you here. My colleague Nivritti Mohan, who is in BJP office, is joined by Shaina NC, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let's go across to her.
Moment, because we all know that the Bharatiya Janata Party under Modi ji's leadership has not just got a mandate. It's a matter of pride that there is no anti-incumbency after 10 years and it's a pro-incumbency. So numbers are actually immaterial. The mandate and the love and the respect for Prime Minister Modi is something that motivates all of us to work.
Now, there are people who are saying that the exit polls that are coming in are motivated and...
No, how can exit polls be motivated? You have a sample survey, you decide based on what is on ground, and if you are so threatened by exit polls, so threatened by the election process, the election commission, and then you come up with lame excuses like the EVM, all I would want to say...
polls were made in...
Nonsense, all nonsense, please. Fantasy world has been made by Rahul Gandhi, and that fantasy world is something they live in. So, moment they come into the reality, they will realize what is the ground reality of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Do you have any predictions, your own predictions?
Ab ki baar 400 par.
400 par. So, Kartikeya ji, this was Shaina NC who was saying that all the exit poll predictions are
ab ki baar 400 bar, I don't know whether it will be termed as Jumla or as a master strategy. Let me just go back to Shriya. Shriya, I think two more experts are waiting for you. Then we'll go to Kabir from the south and north. To you.
Right, Kartikeya. In fact, as we were discussing about the West, let's take you up north now. With me, I have Shweta Kothari. Shweta, very good morning. I think in north, if we begin the discussion with the national capital, or are we looking at a sweeping victory of 7 seats for the BJP again?
I mean, good morning to you, Tushra. If the trends are to go by, absolutely. Looks like it's going to be a tough fight in the national capital, where BJP, despite winning all 7 seats in 2014 as well as 2019, decided to replace all of its MPs barring one, Manoj Tiwari. So it goes on to tell you that BJP is, of course, a little jittery. It is not sure whether all that has unfolded, the drama that we've seen in the national capital over the course of last 1 year, is going to play up as far as the Lok Sabha elections is concerned. Now, quickly running our viewers through what really happened in the past 1 year, starting from when, Aam Aadmi Party Chief Minister, all the existing, ministers were literally battling charges of corruption. Now remember, this is a party which stems from an anti-corruption movement, and so the liquor policy case and the details of which started when coming out, there were questions raised on whether Aam Aadmi Party is losing its sheen. But when we saw the Chief Minister actually being, when the legal sort of played up, the legalities of it played up, we saw a lot of sympathy, of course, also sort of coming in from a lot of people that we spoke to, that perhaps the central government was instead of going the more obvious way of fighting a free and fair election, was actually choosing a legal route to sort of circumvent a fair fight. Now, will that translate into votes? We don't know, but it's going to be a litmus test for Aam Aadmi Party and Congress alliance. And in the last couple of months, since that alliance was announced for a 4:3 seat ratio, there were also a lot of disenchantment within the Congress party as well as the Aam Aadmi Party cadre. Whether there's going to be a transfer of vote or not, we don't know, but national capital, of course, something to look out for.
Absolutely, Shweta. In fact, thank you for putting that so well for our viewers. Well, with that now, we also have Sudha Sadanand from the south. And well, Sudhaji, very good morning to you. Bhalo, and well, that is the beauty of TV9.
TV9, where we speak different languages, but then we bring you the news first and hot straight from the oven. Tell me.
Absolutely, Sudhaji. Sudhaji, today is quite an important day for the south. Let's begin the discussion with Tamil Nadu itself. The Annamalai factor for the BJP this time. In fact, the exit polls have predicted that DMK seats are going to lower, and BJP has made it showed up its head in the Tamil Nadu with 4 seats. Different exit polls again.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the exit polls are saying. But one thing to understand, and I know that a lot of people know about it, Coimbatore is a very unique city. It's one of the most developed in Tamil Nadu. It's got both rural and urban population, but it's also called the Manchester of Tamil Nadu because you have a great textile industry there. Now, the 3 contestants there who are fighting is Annamalai from the BJP, who's a cop-turned politician. Then, of course, you have former Mayor of Coimbatore, Ganapati Rajkumar, and then you have Singai Ramachandran. One thing common amongst all of them, they all went to the same college, Riya. PSG Technology College in Coimbatore, 2 studied other subjects, whereas Ramachandran studied media studies. The thing is that since the time of COVID, the industries in Coimbatore have really come up for help, and they've not been getting any help. So that's one thing they feel, that if they vote for somebody who's got the ear of the central government, it's going to help, both small and medium industries in Coimbatore. And of course, the other thing is, Annamalai is seen, he's called Singham. Do you know? I mean, he's called Singham. And the thing is that he's seen to be somebody who is there to kind of pull the cloak of corruption. You saw the DMK files, and I think he, cost PTR his finance ministry, one of the supposedly the most brilliant finance ministers in India. So therefore, I think Annamalai seems to be somebody who is very, very strong wicket, but BJP has no record of it. In 1998, of course, C.P. Radhakrishnan won it, but that was then. Since then, it's been the bastion of the DMK and also the CPI and CPM. We'll have to wait and see if Annamalai, because he stored a lot, Yen Makkal, Yen Kachi, which means my people, my party, he's gone on Padayatras and really, interacted with people very young in comparison, not even 40 as yet. Let's see what Coimbatore has in store for all of us, Riya.
Absolutely. It's a matter of time at this point, just a few more hours at this point with regards to what exactly will unfold. With that, in fact, I'll come back to Ashok Bagaria. Ashok, you were cut a short.
I have to stop you for a minute, then you can go back to Ashok Bagaria. Let's go across to Uttar Pradesh. Kabir, take us to Uttar Pradesh, because the contest in Uttar Pradesh is that there have been some seats which have been demonstrated through our exit poll, which have a margin less than 5%. So the debate is today whether those margins will go in favor of Bharatiya Janata Party or Samajwadi Party. Because if they go in favor of Bharatiya Janata Party, then nothing changes. It's an incremental gain for BJP and it's chapter closed. But if there's an incremental gain for Samajwadi Party, then I think 2 things will happen. Faith in Akhilesh Yadav, his first election after Mulayam Singh Yadav, because Akhilesh was the face in 2012. Vote Netaji ke naam pe pada tha. Secondly, he will prove his mettle in Lok Sabha.
No, you're absolutely right. Let's quickly go back to the TV9 data center. Some pretty important questions that you've put across. Let's quickly take a look at what Uttar Pradesh looked like in 2014 as well. The BJP getting 71 seats in 2014. In 2019, this came down to 62, but that's still a major portion. 62 seats for the Bharatiya Janata Party. BSP bagged about 10 seats. Samajwadi Party had 5. You had the Congress Party that was left with just the 1 seat alone. Now, several important seats that one has to look at. You've got Kannauj. Akhilesh Yadav is fighting on that seat, contesting on that seat, and the small minuscule margin that Karthik you were talking about. You know, you've got Amethi, you've got Rai Bareli. Kaisarganj is also another important seat. So, is everything going to be up in air? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. But this is what
seat is Amethi, given the high profile.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the amount of excitement in the people on the ground this time around, and the resurgence of Akhilesh Yadav, albeit many people were saying that, you know, memes doing round on social media said that finally Akhilesh Yadav started looking like Netaji, even with the proverbial nose. He's finally started looking like Netaji. Maybe this time around, you know, fortunes might favor him. But then again, that resurgence, many were also saying it's a little too late, too late. But we'll have to wait till we hear it from the horse's mouth. This is what Uttar Pradesh looked like in 2019, 2024. As of now, grey, white, blank slate. What color is going to fill in here? Back to you, gentlemen.
Can you ask a question? To
Absolutely, why?
Kabir, this entire resurgence theory of Akhilesh Yadav, I think is perhaps coming from the fact that in the last assembly polls, which is actually an outlier in some ways, he ended up performing rather well, right? The last assembly polls in UP, you saw Akhilesh almost changing the three-cornered contest into a two-horse race.
Can I answer that? You know, I travelled. You know what worked for Akhilesh at that point of time was that Akhilesh was able to inspire one hope. Secondly, Akhilesh was also able to create some alliances, and that election had taken place in the wake of farm agitation.
That's right.
So Akhilesh was getting a lot of positive publicity. I think that was the only election in which Samajwadi Party, Jayant Chaudhary and other small regional tie-ups which Akhilesh had done, they received a lot of good publicity. In fact, Bharatiya Janata Party was on back foot. Secondly, if you recall that the Teni episode had happened. So though it did not affect BJP on ground, but at least on social media, they were being badgered. That's number 2. And secondly, which is the most important, you know, which both me and Brijesh had spoken ad nauseam, was intense polarization of the Muslim community. But herein lies the problem, Ajit. Despite all that, he lost the election, which means that he failed to gather communities other than Yadav and Muslims.
But Karthikeya, there was also one flip side, you know. If you look at the kind of campaigning that was, look at the tenure of campaigning, you know, the entire campaigning of Samajwadi Party didn't last for more than 5 months. You know, they were seen to be working at the last lap. You know, for the first 4-5 lap, it was only the BJP which was running in circles. And that is the reason why many believe, and you know, the tragedy of the entire assembly poll of that is that it was Akhilesh Yadav who gave the moniker Bulldozer Baba to Yogi Adityanath. And look how it has boomeranged. Now Bulldozer is considered to be a symbol of law and order and how a strong government is. And it was a moniker which was given by Akhilesh Yadav to Yogi Adityanath.
In fact, this bulldozer thing, it has reached West Bengal also.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. When the BJP president of West Bengal, he is saying that when we come back, and if Trinamool continues this way, there will be bulldozer all around.
But
so it has reached there.
Again,
but
a question to both of you who know UP better than all of us. The fact that in that assembly polls, what Akhilesh ended up doing or why he researched was not so much that he was contesting against BJP, that he was destroying or eating up Bahujan Samaj Party. Are we going to see a similar replay in
I really don't.
2024?
I'll give you an example. But you know, for that you require some sort of a political capital. If you recall, if you're stationed in India at that point of time, and if you're in Delhi Janto, I was in school, but it was part of my paper. After Indira Gandhi's assassination, the Congress party swept Uttar Pradesh. Correct? In 6 months, the election took place. Chaudhry Charan Singh's party ended up getting 97 seats. in undivided Uttar
Yeah.
Pradesh, which had 425 assemblies, constituencies. People were taken aback. What happened? If Congress party rested 83 seats, only 2 seats were won. Why did it went back to 97? Because there was some political capital left with Chaudhary Sahab. Right now, the position is most of the leaders who are helming, they don't have political capital. Earlier, the political capital was channelized through newspapers, other forms of communication and propaganda. Today, the political capital is amplified and channelized from social media accounts like YouTube, WhatsApp, Twitter, and that's
Mix
how you
of both, perhaps.
Mix of both. So you require a political capital. So I think that is where the problem is. What makes Modi different from other is a huge political capital. I defined Rahul Gandhi in context of political capital. His political capital is low. Kiran Tare from Mumbai joins us. Kiran, kasa hai?
Mumbai is going very good now, but Mumbai is highly humid. You can see I am sweating here. It's very high humidity. There's a very high humidity, but the political pressure, the political heat is not yet rising. I'm standing in front of the BJP office here, and you can see just behind me, there is a complete silence. The BJP office is just opened a few minutes back. The party was not in a hurry to open the office. The cleaning is going on inside. But plus, they have planned a big celebration here at 11 o'clock. Devendra Fadnavis and other big leaders of the state party here, they are expected to join the celebrations. There will be a DJ, there will be laddu distribution and all. So BJP is mentally prepared for the big win. But the big win will be on the national level. As far as Maharashtra is concerned, there is a reason for the BJP to worry, because all the exit polls are showing that the BJP is not going to repeat its performance, which it had registered in 2014 and 2019. In back-to-back elections, the BJP-led alliance had 41 seats, but this time, no exit poll has shown them reaching to the same number they had registered 2 elections back. There will be a big setback in BJP as far as the exit polls are concerned. But here, the BJP, of course, they are trying to claim that the whatever loss the India is suffering, that is because of Shiv Sena led by Eknath Shinde and the NCP led by Ajit Pawar. BJP had won 23 seats last time. They are expected to reach around 20. So the BJP is not going to have a major loss of face as well in this election. That is what the contention is. But in the overall, India is going to suffer a big loss. Maharashtra has been always the toughest state for the India in this election. I think today's results will also prove and will underpin the fact that it's not very easy to win Maharashtra in spite of all jod-tod ki rajniti. Maharashtra is not going to give any favorable verdict to India this time.
Okay. Let me go across to Avijit also, and then I'll come to you, Kabir. Avijit, when we were talking about West Bengal, it's also a key state. Maharashtra gives 48, West Bengal gives 42, UP gives 80 seats. In West Bengal, it's a very close fight. But do you think that the Bharatiya Janata Party will be able to erode the base of TMC? When I say erode, parties win and lose. But sometimes when you erode a vote bank, you lose that primary position, which Mamata did to CPM. So do you think that something like that can happen, or it will be a plain simple win?
No, Kartika, I think, an erosion of the vote bank of the Trinamool will take place. If you look at the exit polls, right now we don't have anything tangible other than the exit polls to go by. So last time, I'll just take you through the vote shares. That is, in the last Lok Sabha polls, the AITC or Trinamool got 43.7% of the votes, while Bharatiya Janata Party got 40.6%. So basically, a 3 percentage point gap there. Now, this time, if you see the percentages being predicted, that has gone up to 46 for Janata Party, for BJP, and around 40 for TMC. Now, that's a 6 percentage point gap, is hell of a lot of, vote bank erosion. If that takes place now, it's going to make hell of a lot of seat difference as well. So I think there is definitely going to be some sort of erosion, though not a landslide perhaps. There is going to be some sort of as a substantive part, I'll let me put out my neck and say a substantive erosion of the vote bank of the TMC. But here again, let me tell you something. You know, there is always an X factor for every election. Mamata Banerjee is counting on her dole politics to work miracles for her. Now, as we progress throughout the day, perhaps we'll be coming back to this issue. But let me flag it right in front in the morning before even the counting has started, that Mamata Banerjee is heavily depending on the Lakshmi Bhandar, in which it's a direct cash grant to the women folk of the state, and it has been raised from rupees 500 for the general caste people to rupees 1,000 per month, and for the SC/ST classes from rupees 1,000 to rupees 1,200 per month. Now, she is heavily banking on this particular dole. Now, if that really works wonders, the women, she at least expects them to vote in her body for her party, despite the whatever symbolism Sandesh Kali carries for the women folk, to read around the country. Mamata Banerjee is depending heavily on this particular dole.
Okay.
So we have to see how things pan out. But if this particular magic doesn't work for Mamata Banerjee, she is going to suffer a big erosion of her vote bank.
15 minutes before everything starts becoming clear. I'm not saying that the entire result will be out by 9, but 15 minutes to go. It's just one feeling I cannot let go of. Every time when I'm in the newsroom, the excitement peaks by 9, and despite the fact that it is not going to happen till
the
12
second
o'clock.
ballot votes are started going, big leads, results, and they have to calm them down.
Just
wait for a couple of
let's
hours.
show the map of West Bengal and Maharashtra, whichever is ready with you. Let's put that map.
You guys were talking about Maharashtra. Let's quickly talk about
Yes.
Maharashtra. 15 minutes before the newsroom essentially becomes a stock market, and we're unable to talk actual sense and constantly are throwing numbers on the screen. 48 seats back in 2019. BJP getting a major chunk, 23. The Shiv Sena 18. Mind you, the Shiv Sena wasn't split back then. Now it's interesting and important to see what's going to happen in Mumbai. You've got 6 seats. It's the financial capital, the city that never sleeps. So much has happened in the last 5 years. So much of party breakaways. I mean, you have the Mahavikas Aghadi versus the Mahayuti alliance now. This is how 2024 looks right now, 15 minutes before the colors start popping in. But Thane, a Shiv Sena stronghold, what is going to be the impact of this little breakaway that has happened? That's going to be interesting to see. Pune is an economic hub, vital again for the government of the state and then for the nation as well. So Thane, Pune and all of Mumbai, that's going to be our focus as well. Back to you, gentlemen. What do you think?
There's also one more thing which I would like to add here, Kartike, that this time, Election Commission has made one NCP, the real NCP, one Shiv Sena, the Eknath Shinde is real Shiv Sena. I think today people will decide who is the real Shiv Sena and which is the real NCP.
That is the real test.
That is the real test. And if Uddhav Thackeray is not able to perform, I feel that 2024 will act as an almost end of his political career, because the desertion didn't stop even at the middle of the back and forth and campaigning and all. I think if Uddhav Thackeray wins 14, the entire desertion will come to a screeching halt, and we'll see people joining back Uddhav Thackeray. It is a very, very important litmus test. If Ajit Pawar is not able to win any seat and loses Baramati, I think it's a big thumbs down, and it'll put a big serious question mark on the political future of Ajit Pawar.
Successions are very important in non-cadre based party, Jayanto. If you look at ADMK, it has it's busted. If you look at the successful succession, Stalin is an example. I'm not here to defend dynasties, but do you think that there is a succession plan, and do you think that Abhishek can step into Mamata's shoes? Because there have been times when leaders don't, and the regional parties just go bust.
In fact, Kartike, that is what is right now going on in the Trinamool Congress. There is a saying right now that Mamata is the leader and Abhishek Banerjee is the general, whatever that means.
Okay.
But the thing is that it is coming out in the open that there is a kind of a tussle between the old and the new. If you see that there are certain seats wherein there are septuagenarian leaders who are contesting, and where the general has not participated in any campaign, it may be a coincidence, but these are being talked about. So it has to be seen, and even if you remember, sometimes back, I don't exactly remember when it was, Mamata Banerjee had entirely reshuffled her leadership. She had dissolved all the committees that was in the party, and she had once again, she brought back almost the same leaders, but that showed that inside Mamata Banerjee is thinking about the next generation of leadership. She is going to touch 70. She has been always been very aggressive. She has been fighting on the streets, literally on the streets. We all know that. So there is a time that she has to think about handing over the mantle. And as you rightly pointed out, Abhishek Banerjee is indeed the number 2. There is no question over it. He has been given that authority, he has been given that responsibility, and we see that in the organization. The kind of, the way the organization is being run, it is through Abhishek Banerjee himself. And that has raised certain debates and controversies. But yes, the mantle is there for the nephew.
Mantle is there for the nephew?
Yes.
Well, you know, the interesting question would be the fact that Mamata is moving the entire organization more and more towards attracting women voters, lots and lots of women cadres. In fact, she selected some of the topmost, very articulate. Mahua Moitra is there in Rajya Sabha. Recently, Sagarika Ghosh has joined. I mean, she's surrounded by very articulate top women leaders. Now, I don't know
pretty
if
aggressive and accomplished
I don't know if
women.
the nephew will be able to
handle
that shift in sort of from a more like a male hardcore cadre.
There is an articulate man also.
To more sophisticated women type of leadership.
I think that's a very good point. You know, that's a very good point.
I'll tell you.
There is a slight demographics in a way.
Women, you know, Ma Mati Manush was actually coined by Mamata. You know,
that's right.
Ma Mati Manush. Let's not forget that it was such a mind-blowing sort of political symbol, binding, but that it swept CPM.
But Kartike, there's a small difference of opinion there, because you know Mahua Moitra is there. She's a very strong, articulated, accomplished. Sagarika and others are there, but you know they are not political heavyweights. They don't carry the mantle of the cadre with them, and I think the only Abhishek Banerjee is right now the only one who seems to have that. You know,
and he has matured.
And he has matured. Yeah, absolutely.
There was a time when
he's the one who's credited to get Prashant Kishore fighting
that
election.
Okay, wait a minute. You know, before we hit 8 o'clock, let me play out a couple of bites. Let's play them out.
ऐतिहासिक है, राम राज्य बरकरार रहेगा। विश्व के सबसे बड़े नेता तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बनने जा रहे हैं और देश की जनता को बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं। देश की जनता ने देश को जिताया और अपना विश्वास मोदी जी पर जताया। गरीबों, वंचितों, बेटियों, मातृशक्ति सब ने, किसानों ने, एक व्यक्ति ने, एक गरीब जो लाभार्थी रहा, वो आज प्रधानमंत्री जी को तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बनाने जा रहा है। समस्त देश को, इस भारत को, इस नए भारत को, इस राम राज्य वाले भारत में सभी को ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। जय श्री राम, जय बजरंगबली।
आज भारत की जनता चयन करेगी भाजपा की लोक कल्याणकारी नीतियों को, चयन करेगी हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की विकास की नीतियों को, चयन करेगी हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के विकसित भारत के विजन को। मैं जानती हूँ तीसरी बार फिर मोदी सरकार। धन्यवाद।
मेरा ये मानना है कि नतीजे जनता के पक्ष में होंगे और अच्छे होंगे। जो हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस है काफ़ी हाई है, दिल्ली के भी सभी सीटों पर, पंजाब के भी ऑलमोस्ट सभी सीटों पर, कुरुक्षेत्र में भी और गुजरात की दोनों सीटों पर काफ़ी अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स। असम में भी चुनाव लड़े हैं, असम में भी वहाँ पे भी अच्छा होगा। वहाँ एक हमारे कैंडिडेट ने बहुत ही एक्स्ट्रॉर्डनरी चुनाव लड़ा।
वो उम्मीद कर रहा है कि इंडिया गठबंधन की सरकार बनेगी, देश का नेतृत्व कांग्रेस पार्टी और बाकी विपक्षी दल करेंगे। तो ऐसे में हमें उम्मीद है कि आज ऊपर वाला हमारी मदद करेगा। आज बजरंगबली का वार है और बालाजी महाराज की कृपा होगी, बाबा श्याम की कृपा होगी और देश में इंडिया गठबंधन की सरकार बनेगी। 7 सीट हमारी मान रहे हैं वो, हम उम्मीद कर रहे हैं 15 से ज़्यादा सीट हमारी आएगी। आप डबल कर दीजिए। हम तो ये उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि हम जयपुर भी जीतेंगे, जो सीट सबसे टफ मानी जाती है। यहाँ पर भी हमें उम्मीद है। देखते हैं, उम्मीद पर दुनिया कायम है। ऊपर वाला मदद करेगा और जनता का आशीर्वाद मिला होगा तो हम जीतेंगे। बाकी चुनाव का रिजल्ट सामने आ जाएगा 12-1-2 बजे।
को बढ़ाने के लिए माननीय मोदी जी की सरकार की नीतियों का संदेश नीचे तक पहुंचाने के लिए जो कार्यकर्ताओं ने परिश्रम किया है, 2023 के विधानसभा चुनाव में भागीरथ परिश्रम करके भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जिस तरह विजयी किया है, उस श्रृंखला को पूरा करने के लिए ये जो कुछ भी पुरुषार्थ हुआ है, इस पुरुषार्थ को इस प्रयास को सफलता में परिवर्तित करने के लिए आज अंतिम मुहर लगाने के लिए काउंटिंग की मतगणना की इस प्रक्रिया में सारे कार्यकर्ता जा रहे हैं। आपने देखा होगा कितना जोश था, कितना उत्साह था। सभी लोगों को तिलक लगा करके, साफा पहना करके, सबको शगुन दे करके यहाँ से भेजा है और निश्चित रूप से हम सब विजयी होकर के लौटेंगे, ये विश्वास है।
जम्मू कश्मीर की 5 लोकसभा सीट पर कुछ ही देर में वोटिंग की काउंटिंग जो है वो शुरू हो जाएगी। इस समय मैं मौजूद हूँ कुठवा डिग्री कॉलेज के बाहर, जहां पर पुख्ता इंतजाम जो है वो सुरक्षा बलों की तरफ से और प्रशासन की तरफ से किए गए हैं। यहां पर जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस के जवानों को तैनात किया गया है। बैरिकेड जो है वो यहां पर लगाया गया है ताकि इससे आगे कोई भी ना जा सके। जो भी व्यक्ति यहाँ से जा रहा है तो उससे 5 जो है वो मांगा जा रहा है। आपको बता दें कि जम्मू कश्मीर की 5 लोकसभा सीट में जम्मू संभाग की अगर बात की जाए तो 2 लोकसभा सीटें आती है। जम्मू सीट और उसके साथ साथ जो उधमपुर कुठवा सीट है वो यहाँ पर आती है। उसके बाद आपको बता दें कि डिलिमिटेशन के बाद नई सीट जो है वो अनंतनाग रजौरी सीट जो है वो बनकर आई थी। उसके साथ साथ श्रीनगर बारामूला सीट जो है उस पर भी आज काउंटिंग होगी। लेकिन आप देखिए कि किस तरीके से यहाँ पर जो सुरक्षा के पुख्ता इंतजाम हैं वो जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस की तरफ से किए गए हैं। प्रशासन ने पूरे इंतजाम जो है वो यहाँ पर किए हैं। आपको बता दें कि अगर कुठवा उधमपुर सीट की बात की जाए, ये सबसे ज़्यादा हॉट सीट मानी जा रही है क्योंकि यहाँ से MOS इन PMO डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह लड़ रहे हैं। उनके सामने जो प्रत्याशी हैं कांग्रेस के चौधरी लाल सिंह जो हैं वो कांग्रेस की तरफ से लड़ रहे हैं। पूरी तरीके से जो मुकाबला है वो कांटे का है। हालांकि इस सीट पर पिछले 2 बार से 2014 और 2019 में MOS इन PMO डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जीते हैं। लेकिन आज देखना होगा कि किसकी तरफ ये सीट जाती है। कुछ ही देर में जो वोटिंग है वो जो वोटिंग की काउंटिंग है वो शुरू हो जाएगी। लेकिन ठीक उससे पहले आप देखिए कि किस तरीके से पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस, जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस और प्रशासन की पूरी टीम जो है वो यहाँ पर लगी हुई है ताकि इन वोटिंग सेंटर में किसी भी तरीके से कोई भी खलल जो है वो ना डाल सके।
पूरे देश के साथ आज जम्मू कश्मीर में भी लोकसभा चुनावों की काउंटिंग को लेकर प्रक्रिया शुरू हो चुकी है। इस समय मौजूद है श्रीनगर के SKICC में, जहां पर आप देख सकते हैं लगातार अब लोगों का आना जाना शुरू हुआ है। पोलिंग एजेंट्स लगातार अंदर जा रहे हैं। करीबन 1000 पोलिंग एजेंट्स को आज जो है इस काउंटिंग केंद्र के अंदर एक्सेस दिया गया है और करीबन जम्मू कश्मीर में 5 लोकसभा क्षेत्रों में चुनाव हुए हैं जिनका फैसला आज होने वाला है, जिसमें श्रीनगर में यहाँ पर SKICC के में काउंटिंग सेंटर रखा गया है। वहीं बारामूला में भी GDC कॉलेज बारामूला में केंद्र रखा गया है। अनंतनाग में भी एक और, यानी कुल मिलाकर 3 केंद्र कश्मीर घाटी में और जम्मू में 2 काउंटिंग के लिए रखे गए हैं, जहां पर करीबन 2500 सिक्योरिटी पर्सनल जो है इस पूरी प्रक्रिया का सुरक्षा कर रहे हैं। और लगातार तस्वीर में आप देख सकते हैं कड़ी सुरक्षा के बीच ये काउंटिंग जो है वो किया जा रहा है। और पूरे देश की तरह ही तमाम जो इंतज़ामात है वो आज के दिन को लेकर किया गया है। कई चेहरों का जो किस्मत का फैसला होगा वही जम्मू कश्मीर में भी ख़ास तौर पर किस तरह नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस PDP और भाजपा के नताइज आएंगे वो देखना बहुत महत्वपूर्ण होगा। हालांकि श्रीनगर सीट की बात करें तो यहाँ पर नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस और PDP के बीच सीधे मुकाबला देखा जा रहा है। ये तमाम जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस और बाकी जो सुरक्षा के यहाँ पर जो इंतजामात है वो चाक चौबंद है और कोशिश ये है कि जो काउंटिंग का प्रोसेस है वो पोलिंग की प्रोसेस की तरह ही फुल प्रूफ जो है निकलते हुए सामने आए। ये तमाम प्रक्रिया जो है मल्टी टायर सिक्योरिटी सिस्टम एस्टैब्लिश किया गया है काउंटिंग केंद्र के बाहर और लगातार गाड़ियों को पूरी तरह जो है बाज़ाब्ता चेकिंग करने के बाद ही काउंटिंग केंद्र के अंदर जाने की इजाज़त दी जा रही है। और लगातार जम्मू कश्मीर के लोकसभा चुनावों की बात करें तो जिस तरह की कैंपेनिंग और कैंपेनिंग के साथ साथ लोगों का जो पार्टिसिपेशन है चुनाव में वो बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण था, क्योंकि करीबन 60% के आसपास जो है मतदान देखने को मिला। उसके चलते काफ़ी जो नज़रें हैं वो जम्मू कश्मीर की और आज पूरे देश की भी है। और देश के साथ साथ आज जम्मू कश्मीर में जो ये काउंटिंग का प्रोसेस है वो यहाँ पर आज करीबन 6 बजे से लोगों का आना शुरू हुआ और करीबन 8 साढ़े 8 के बीच जो है काउंटिंग शुरू होगा। तो कुल मिलाकर फिलहाल ये तस्वीरें हैं।
We have Shaina NC with us, BJP leader. Let us speak to her. Ma'am, what are you predicting? What are the results?
I think it's an extremely historic moment because we all know that the Bharatiya Janata Party under Modi ji's leadership has not just got a mandate, it's a matter of pride that there is no anti-incumbency after 10 years and it's a pro-incumbency. So numbers are actually immaterial. The mandate and the love and the respect for Prime Minister Modi is something that motivates all of us to work.
Okay. Now, there are people who are saying that the exit polls that are coming in are motivated and...
No, how can exit polls be motivated? You have a sample survey, you decide based on what is on ground, and if you are so threatened by exit polls, so threatened by the election process, the election commission, and then you come up with lame excuses like the EVM, all I would want to say...
polls were made
all nonsense, all nonsense, please. Fantasy world has been made by Rahul Gandhi, and that fantasy world is something they live in. So, moment they come into the reality, they will realize what is the ground reality of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Do you have any predictions, your own predictions?
Ab ki baar 400 par.
Ab ki baar 400 par. I'm also joined by my colleague Sudha Sadan in the studio. You know, ab ki baar 400 par. I don't think, Sudha, it's possible without Bharatiya Janata Party doing something in East and South India. So let me begin with South India. Do you think that they have been able to create a stronger footprint for themselves beyond Karnataka?
Well, absolutely. This time around, you know, Coimbatore, when we speak about Coimbatore, Kartikeya, you know, it is very, very clear that in Coimbatore, the core voter base, and I say this because these are young people, these are people who want a change, these are people who are saying, complaining about GST, these are people who are saying that the center does not listen to it. Small and medium industries there, textile hub, you know, Coimbatore, Kartikeya is very interesting. It's very urbanized and Manchester-like on the one side, and then there is a rural bastion as well, you know, and the weather is also very beautiful in Coimbatore. It's not hot. A lot of people go retire there. My retirement will be in Coimbatore.
Okay.
So the thing is that, of course, you know, the point is that BJP, Anna Malay, you know, yen makkal, yen manne means meri mitti, mere log, the Padayatra he did. Instead of speaking, he spoke about two things. He spoke about how the DMK or Dravidian parties have prolonged this since the 60s of trying to take advantage of you and really, you know, filling up their coffers. And second is Prime Minister Modi, who's completely unique, and Modi's push.
Okay, if that's the correct position, why was he under attack from the older BJP leadership earlier?
Anna Malay.
Why did that happen?
Because I think that BJP leaders to a great extent, whether it is Pon Radhakrishnan, a lot of other people thought that they deserve it. Why is he? He's not even 40. He's a cop and he's from Karnataka cadre. So even now when you criticize Anna Malay, you say, oh, you are a Kannadiga, right? But then people who support, because Tamil Nadu is very unique.